Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. This one is from quite a while ago actually. I was playing in the small craft journal and I'm just adding a thin layer of clear gesso to the page. So the reason I'm doing this is because I was going to be using gloss sprays on the background, and this, as you know, will just make the gloss sprays colour be a bit truer because it doesn't sink into the pages quite as much. So started off with Orchid and then Rouge, and then giving it a good shake. That looks like Cheddar. I haven't really got a plan with this, I'm just going in and spritzing some colour on the page. That one looked like Lemon, and then I decided to smoosh the pages together because why not? So just to kind of spread that colour around a bit, and then some splashes of Blackberry as a little bit of a contrast, so we've got something quite dark working on those other nice warm colours. And then I decided to go in with some water and just spritz it and see what would happen, and it creates this kind of pretty cool watercolour effect really. Now I was just very conscious of the middle of the book because obviously, as you know, if you've watched one of my other videos, I did have a bit of a disaster where the gloss sprays puddled and ran into the centre of the book and spread through onto another page and stuck pages together, so just be really careful if you're doing that. So then once it's dry, I'm going in with this really pretty gold acrylic ink and just splashing it on really, just as a pretty accent with the colours that are already there. So quite warm colours, obviously, apart from the purple, but this looks really nice when the light catches it. So splashing that on, just using the dripper to just pick some up and then splooshing it around. Technical term there. So then you can see how that's dried really nicely at the top of the screen there. So this is one of Megan Quinlan's stencils. Really great if you've not got them, they're worth trying to get a hold of. So then I'm just painting in the hair. And I am going to be cutting this out, so not worried too much about being too accurate with my painting here. And then you'll notice that I'm just extending the hair down to the shoulders. So when you get stencils like this, you don't have to use them exactly as they are. You can alter them and change them up a little bit, and add your own twist to them really quite simply. So then I'm just drawing in over the other lines using a simple black gel pen. And then I'm going in with the Stabilo All and just adding a very, very simple face. Megan's got a video on her channel of how she does this, and it is really simple and quite effective too. Then I just decided to alter that hairline a little bit more. And then I decided I'd made the hair too big, so just sketching in where I'm going to cut out. And here I'm just drawing some of the colour out from the Stabilo pencil just to kind of create a couple of shadows. And that's just a water brush that I'm using to do that with. Then I am cutting this out, and I've just worked on some craft cardstock there. There was nothing particularly special. And then on one of Megan's other stencils, she's got this botanical leaf pattern, so I'm just adding a bit of that onto the bottom of the figure. Looks really pretty. And then she's going to be added to the left hand side of my page. So then I'm using this one of Dina's stencils. I love this little collection of dots on that Growing Things stencil. So I'm just adding some of those onto my page too. And now the figure is dry, I'm going in with the Signo Uniball in white and just outlining some of those botanical stenciling that I did, just to kind of, I don't know, add a bit more contrast and a bit more interest. And then I'm going in and doing some white dots, of course, I've got to, some dots, some mark making. This is a kind of how you make your journal pages your own, by adding those little touches that you always do. Then I'm just using a text stamp. I think this is quite an old, no actually it's not, this is a darkroom door stamp, quite a new one in fact. I thought it was an old one that I quite like to use, but no, that's a stamp, darkroom door, more recent one of their releases. And then I'm just going to staple this figure in place using the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. This is a stencil called Pieces, and I've just gone in and used some gold there. And then I'm using these Block Alpha stencil and mask set. I'm just selecting my letters just to make sure that words I want to put on my page are actually going to fit. Oh, sorry, that was my teacup. Oh, I had an absolute disaster in my art room yesterday. It was chaos. I had a massive cup of tea on the side and went to get my folder of stencils out and caught it, knocked it all over my leg and all over the carpet, which luckily is tea coloured anyway, so that was all right. And my leg was okay. I jumped in the shower quickly and it was all sorted. But oh my gosh, never seen liquid go so far. It was just ridiculous. Okay, so anyway, sorry, back to my journal page. So then I've got a sheet of sticker paper. And first of all, I'm adding some stamping to it. And then I've grabbed some of these Tim Holtz Media Mark stamps, and I'm just going to be adding loads and loads of mark making onto this sheet of sticker paper. So the idea here is then I'm going to flip it over and cut my letters out of this, and any bits that are left over just get popped in my box of scraps of nice bits of paper that are left over. So you can see I'm just building up the marks on here, and using sticker paper is a bit of a cheats way to create collage paper that you can add to your journal pages really quickly. You can just as easily do it on printer paper, but obviously then you would need some glue as well to help stick it in place. I'm adding the stamps onto an acrylic block. That just makes the stamping a little bit easier, and it goes on a little bit more evenly too. So this is looking quite interesting so far. Okay, so this is where I flipped it over, and then because I'm working on the reverse, I'm going to have to draw around my letters backwards, so that they are the right way around on the other side. So don't be worried if you see me drawing around these letters back to front. Some of them, obviously not all of them, will show. So basically going to draw around all my letters and then cut them out and then just pop them on my page. So it is nice and easy adding these into place, because I was just peel the sticker paper off the back and add them on. If you're worried they're not going to stay put, then you can also add a little bit of glue if you wanted to. But actually I haven't had any problems with these popping out of my book at all. They've dried really well and stayed in place. And I just love the variety of marks that are on each letter. No two letters are the same. Once they're all stuck down, I'm then adding more mark making onto my actual journal page rather than just the figure that I added on the left. Just to add that contrast and to work with the white letters that are now on that lovely background. And then also I have added a shadow on the left hand side of the letters using a Pitt marker pen, and then I'm just adding some white over the top of that, just to help those letters pop out a little bit more. And that's it really. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this gloss spray background, adding a figure and then creating a master sheet to cut some letters out from for my words on my page. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.